What is going on, y'all? Gamers Goon here today with a little bit of a recap here from the USMNT national team game against Saudi Arabia. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. My main focus was on the NBA Finals Game 6. Shout out to the Pacers. I forced Game 7. Thought maybe there was a chance that Oklahoma City took it home tonight. Guess what? Tyrese Halliburton only played, I think, around 20 minutes. Didn't need him the full game. Big time win in Indianapolis, and they will be sending it to Game 7. But you're not here for that. You're not here for that. You are here to talk about the Gold Cup, here to talk about the United States men's national team's game against Saudi Arabia. For the parts of the game that I did pay attention to, this was, let's just say, a little bit of an... You dominated possession. You dominated possession, but the true, let's say, kind of the aggression, the creating pressure offensively was kind of lacking. 5 total shots, only 0.7 expected goals. You did get a goal here out of Chris Richards on a set piece, who came from Sebastian Berhalter, but really not much creativity, not much attacking pressure. Was generally a pretty big letdown of a game here against Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia, we did talk a little bit about, they are the toughest test of the teams in our group. At the end of the day, you beat that test, but kind of showing the lack of urgency to score goals. And I thought Downs didn't look too great. He had an opportunity, kind of lost it there, got tackled late. Just all around, nobody outside of maybe, I mean, obviously Chris Richards, but to me also, I would look at Malik Tillman. Malik Tillman, I thought, had a pretty solid game. I think there was some creativity to his game, and if I'm looking for depth pieces, and I don't know if he'd be a starter on that World Cup roster when you have the full squad, when you have Yunus Musa, when you have Weston McKennie, when you have Tim Weah, when you have Christian Pulisic. There's a lot of guys that aren't on this team right now. I don't know if Tillman is in that starting group, but Tillman is a guy that has a really good case to be at least an option for Pochettino here in the World Cup next year. He is somebody, once again, last game looked really good. I was more impressed with Diego Luna and kind of his creativity. And Diego Luna had a yellow card. Didn't have too much of a bad game necessarily, but wasn't nearly as impressive. I would have liked to see a little bit more out of him. Obviously, Richards, we talked about him. Pretty good from Richards with the goal, and he's somebody that's pretty much locked up a starting spot next year in the World Cup. Tyler Adams came off the bench, not much in his time. Damian Downs came off. Once again, I thought maybe he had some chances that kind of went and slipped away from him. Brennan Aronson didn't get too much time, but he's another guy that's probably on that World Cup roster. Didn't really get too much time, and I mean, from my understanding, had a pretty good year at Leeds. We'll see if what he does. Miles Robinson got into the game late, didn't see much. You figure he'll probably be one of the center backs on that team next year. And Johnny Cardoso, who I really like, came in real late, didn't get much of shine. But Cardoso is somebody that I think should be one of the guys on that World Cup team. Don't know if he'll be a starter, especially if you can have a fully healthy group going into it. I don't necessarily know that you're going to need Cardoso to be a starter, but somebody that, once again, you probably look at as a good option to have. Some of the guys that didn't play, notable guys, I mean, I guess we can go over all of them. Turner, he'll be the goalkeeper next year. Tolkien, probably a little bit of a long shot to make it, but a player I do like. Walker Zimmerman. I mean, he's solid. He's solid, but I think he's somebody that, if you do have, he's one of the last men on your roster. Mark McKenzie, somebody I really like. I think he could get into the squad. Quinn Sullivan, we'll see if he gets into the squad. Paxton Harrison, another guy. Don't really know if he'll get into that squad. And Brian White at the goalkeeper. But for the most part here, for me, the real highlight of the game, obviously the Chris Richards goal, but also I think Malik Tillman has really stood out the last 2 games as one of those guys that's really bringing the creativity and really becoming somebody that we can trust in the attack and create opportunities for others and even finish opportunities when he's presented with them. He's somebody that I think we don't talk about enough, really. I think he is somebody that could really contribute next year on that World Cup team, but like I said, sort of a letdown game, only won by a goal. Wasn't a real convincing goal. It was a set piece. It worked. Chris Richards got on the end of it, poked it in. There was not much really out of this game to take away. Not one of the more impressive performances. But the good news to come out of it, is officially, we have clinched advancing. We haven't clinched the number 1 just yet. There is a world where Saudi Arabia goes in and scores, I guess it would need to be 7 goals. We would need to draw. They need to score 7 goals on Trinidad and Tobago to win first place. So we are in a really good spot to win first place, but we are through. And I think we're gonna be okay for now. Let's go to the other groups. We got Group A, Mexico and Costa Rica. They are both already through. Everybody's played 2 games. Suriname and the Dominican Republic both down 2. Believe it or not, the Dominican Republic, I feel kind of upset if I was them. I lost 1 to Mexico. I lost 1 to Costa Rica. Dominican Republic coming in FIFA ranked 139. Put up a good showing. -2 goal differential, but they put up a good showing. They play Suriname. Suriname also with 0 points. So Mexico and Costa Rica are both through. Mexico and Costa Rica will be playing each other to see who the winner of the group is. And if it is a draw, Mexico will come out on top of that group, which I was pretty confident Mexico would be the top team out of that group. We get to Group B. Group B, everybody's only played 1 game because this is one of those groups. Group B and C have only all played 1. We are in Group D. We have played 2. But Group B right now is shaping up to be Canada with 3 points. Curacao and El Salvador split, and they have 1. Honduras sitting with 0. Canada will be playing Curacao, El Salvador versus Honduras next. So you would like to think Canada probably shores up their group in the next game. And then we get to Group C. All played 1. Both of them were wins, no splits. Panama and Guatemala both took 3 points away. They actually play each other next. Guatemala did not really impress me. They got a pretty early goal in that Jamaica game, and Jamaica just looked terrible. They were the team that I thought would top the group. I think against Guadalupe, Jamaica is going to have an absolute big game. I think Panama beats Guatemala, and then you're going to have to see Guatemala and see if they can beat Guadeloupe, which I think they can. And then Panama is going to have to beat Jamaica. I think this group gets interesting. I still have Panama coming out of it because they do play Guatemala, who I think they'll beat. And then Jamaica, they'll have to get goal differentials to make it interesting here. But right now I'm leaning towards Panama. And then obviously our group. Our group is pretty much just us. Unless Saudi Arabia loses to Trinidad and Tobago, which is possible, I guess. They've obviously upset us in the past. I don't think it's likely. I think Saudi Arabia is through. Haiti, they could beat us, I guess, if we just don't really care. And maybe that affects Saudi Arabia. But Saudi Arabia pretty much just controls their own destiny. So that is kind of just the quick little recap and update on everything going around the Gold Cup. Let me know down below who you think is going to win each group, and then let me know down below what you thought about tonight's game with the U.S. men's national team. Like I said, to me, really the only highlight was Malik Tillman. Other than that, can't speak too highly on anybody else's performance. The other guys, they didn't really get too much of a chance off the bench. Can't speak so highly of. And then I guess Chris Richards, obviously with his goal, shout out to him. I'm not giving him enough love for his goal, but at the center back position, usually not the guy you need being your only goal scorer. If you only have one goal scorer for the game, get it done by hook or crook, I guess. Get a goal in the back of the net. That's the name of the game. It's the name of the game. Might not be the most likely of heroes, but tonight Chris Richards was the hero. So give Chris Richards some loves down in the comment as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.